It's week 2 of the fall season is here. It's time for the AD podcast. Brian Phelps is here. Brian, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well, another week, and we're excited to continue along with the fall season.
Boy, isn't it nice when you get your first week under your belt with great weather, and it's one more hurdle you don't have to worry about. It just was a great weather week last week.
It was a great way to open up the season for most of our teams. Unfortunately, it's going to be the exact opposite this week, but I'll take week 1 getting under our belt like that.
Yeah, let's start with girls tennis. I know we talked last week, and they have set the bar high, but looks like they took care of Columbus Academy in straight 5-0. Let's just talk briefly about girls tennis.
Yeah, we started off with the Wellington School and Country Day, Columbus Academy, thinking that those would all be pretty good tests, especially Columbus Academy. And the girls are just really strong. I know I talked about it last week, that expectations are really high for this team. There's just so much talent. They're so deep. It's all about staying healthy and kind of continuing to build that chemistry. And if that all goes to plan, it should be a lot of fun at the end of the year.
Right. Let's switch to football. Great big booster bash Friday night. Roger Bacon came over. We jumped out early 14-zip and just couldn't hold on to the lead. But I think if we can weather some injuries and get things back on track, we should be ready to roll for the CHL schedule.
Yeah, it was a great night, a great crowd. It's Booster Bash is a community event, so a lot of people came out to see the game. We had our new uniforms,
and they look
looking
nice.
looking good on the field, and the stadium I think looks good. And really started off playing well. Went from 14-0 to 21-0, but then it was called back on a pass interference call, which was the right call. So just had a lot of things going well for us. And Roger Bacon's a good team. They kept fighting. We kept fighting. We just came up a little short.
Right.
Sustained a few injuries that just are really too bad for our program. Some not as long as others, but we just, that's the game of football. There's going to be injuries, and we have to find a way, kind of next man up mentality.
Yeah, traveled to Northwest on Friday, so it'll be a big challenge for the Braves. So best of luck to them. Let's switch over to soccer. Why don't we start with boys first?
Yeah, boys are a lot of fun to watch. They're really strong. They're a top team in the state, no doubt. Have really started off with our first couple games showing that they're strong. The Country Day went on Saturday. It's always nice to beat a neighborhood rival. They're a class program, great coach and Greg Hirschauer, and to come out of there 5-1 was just a really solid team effort, and I think it's just showing more things to come from the boys.
Yeah, how about the girls? Girls also played CCD. They were on the short end 4-1. Let's talk a little bit about the girls.
Yeah, it was actually a good game. Teresa Hirschauer does a great job. Nice program. They're senior heavy, have some really nice players. We played well. That was a good game for us to kind of just continue to knock some dust off, as we've talked about before. We're a mix of some good senior leadership and a lot of young kids that are on the field as well. So this is the type of team that I think just as the season goes along, will continue to click and get stronger. And like any team hopes, by the end of the year, I think this is the type of team that'll be playing their best soccer.
Yeah, that's exciting. Hey, let's switch gears to cross country. We talked last week on how hard they train all over the summer, and it's going to be awful hot for their first meet this Saturday. Holy cow.
Yeah, I think this week of training, it will probably be the hottest, they've had throughout any time in the summer. So they'll get creative and, probably have some early morning practices or run a little bit later. And, but Sue Savage, as we've talked about, she's a pro. She'll know how to do it right and keep our kids healthy, and at the same time be ready to go on Saturday.
Looks like field hockey starts up their season tomorrow with Oakwood, so that's exciting for them to finally get rolling.
Yeah, on Friday they had a play day at Walnut Hills, which a bunch of teams in our league will play short kind of games and played pretty well. We're a young team, graduated a lot of seniors. last year, so it'll be a little bit different look. But I think they came out of Friday with some positivity and looked pretty good against both Mount Notre Dame and Summit. So gave them some, some life for sure and excitement for the season. But Oakwood's always a good rival for us in field hockey.
Okay.
We'll host them tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and the season will be underway.
And that'll be at the stadium, correct, Brian?
Yeah, Tomahawk Stadium right here on the high school campus, and we'll be excited to see the girls start their season.
Sounds great. Well, let's talk. Let's go inside the gym to girls volleyball. Looks like they had Cincinnati Country Day to start the week off. How'd that go?
So good day at Country Day. Our JV 1 and 2. Our varsity game was actually suspended. Won the first two, and we were up. I think it was 22-19 in the third, and we had unfortunately we had a medical emergency in the crowd, and thankfully that person is doing well right now. But the teams decided to suspend the game and decide to pick it up later on in the season, or potentially not even finish it. But it was the right call. Just from a mindset of everyone involved. So we wish that parent well. And as I said, the latest report is they are doing much better, and we'll continue to hope that they recover.
Boy, that's great to hear, Brian. Switching over to golf, boys golf looks like they had a great week last week, and that continues on.
Yeah, we had a hole-in-one by Alex Holzapfel at the Mill, hole number 8, and that is, I believe, his second hole-in-one in his career. So,
wow,
he definitely leads that squad. Kind of like we talked about with some other sports, looks a little bit differently. I've got some younger kids stepping up, but golf will be a season where they'll just continue to grow, and again, hopefully clicking at the right time as we get towards the end of the season.
Well, that sounds great. Well, I think we've covered all the sports. A little brief update this week. All the best to the Braves teams this week, as it's going to be a hot one. And best of luck to the football team Friday night at Northwest. For all the information you need, IndianHillBraves.org to get anything you need on the athletic teams. Anything else, Brian, for the week?
School starts on Wednesday. It's kind of nice to get back in a normal routine and kids in school and kind of practicing after school. So it's always a little weird having so many events before the community's fully back. So it'll be nice to have our students back in the building and kind of get on as usual. So we're looking forward to that.
What is the latest on the construction project? Is that close to being done? How far off is that from being finished? Yeah,
so every campus has some construction. We have a new elementary school gym that is finished. The elementary will be ready to welcome everyone back and operate as normal. Primary school the same way. Our middle school will be finished over the winter break, so we'll have a few more months of just a little bit of heartache, but we're getting close. And then we have officially launched publicly our campaign for Fund the Field House. We are hoping to build a 34,000 square foot. We say field house, but it's really a community center, and really excited to see how that goes over the next couple months, if we do have the community support that we expect to. And hopefully around October, we'll know if we're moving forward with this community center or not.
Now, Brian, where on campus would the community center be built?
Yeah, so as you pull in the high school campus, the high school parking lot, to the right is a big open field right now, which is also kind of the outfield of the softball field, and will house just about perfectly a 34,000 square foot community center. And we're really excited to just be talking about that. This all started off with some community members coming to us privately and just said, what will it take for this to happen? So it really just snowballed from there. And for us to do this project, it will be a privately funded project, but every conversation we have is a positive one. And we're looking forward to this potentially being a reality for our community.
So, Brian, if someone's watching this podcast and it piques their interest, who would you want them to contact and where and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so right now the contact is me.
Okay.
Between the superintendent and a board meeting, we've had lots of coffees and lunches and breakfasts. And just on Friday, I had an alum family come in and just a little tour and show them some renderings of what we're talking about and just kind of give them the overall idea. But I would love to speak with anyone that's interested in helping contribute to this community center.
Okay, that sounds great. Perfect. Well, that'll wrap today's show. I appreciate all your input. Have a great week, Brian, and we'll touch base this time next week.
Yeah, thank you and go Braves.